My name is James Orff. Everybody calls me JJ. I'm from Redlands, California. The truck is a 1986 Model 359 with a 43406B Cat. You couldn't get a 425 horsepower Cat in California. It's got a 1453A 5-speed main and 1241D 4-speed auxiliary. SQ100 rear ends, 373 rear gear ratio. I ordered it in 1986. I still actually have the original spec sheet because back in that day you could order a truck and you basically spec'd every nut and bolt. Or now if you want this, you got to get this package, and back then you didn't do that. It's original paint except for the frame and the tanks and the front fenders, which need to be redone. And the air cleaners need to be redone because of rock chips and stuff. But
I think you stood out in 1986 with this, huh?
yeah, I guess. One friend had trucks were green, another friend his trucks were blue, another friend his trucks were maroon. So I was just trying to find something to be a little different. Cabover was my first truck, and the stripe is very similar to the stripe that was on that, and I was just trying to continue with that.
Was the Cabover yellow too?
The Cabover's yellow.
Was it at Reno?
It was at Reno,
okay.
Parked right next to this. Mm-hmm. I never knew what happened to it. Cam Levine found it in a museum up in Las Vegas. And to make a long story short, Matt and Josh went up there to look at it, and they wound up buying it. So it's part of the Dalton collection. It's all there, but it needs to be restored.
Easy.
That was my first truck. I drove that truck when it was new for the guy that bought it originally. He sold it to his brother. It went to Kansas. It came back from Kansas, back out here. When his brother bought a new truck, I bought it then, painted it yellow, and then I drove it for I don't know how many years. Sold it and bought this. I sold it to a guy who took the fifth wheel off it, put a backhoe trailer on it, and then that was the last time I ever saw it. I probably saw it again once after I sold it to him, so say for fun, maybe 87 till last year. I had no idea I figured it was gone forever. And I got a text from Matt. Said, your truck is in a museum in Las Vegas. Art Goldstrom's place in Las Vegas. I was in Las Vegas for the NASCAR race. I went by there before I left town. Mr. Goldstrom wasn't there, but his daughter was there. She's a very nice person. And I talked to her a little bit. Well, Mr. Goldstrom called me and we talked. He said, well, he'd be willing to part with it. So I talked to my son, because I didn't have the finances to really buy it. I talked to my son, maybe me and him would go in half. Maybe Matt's boy Gunner, he was interested in it. Maybe he'd go in for a third. Then Matt said, well, he might have to go in for it for 25%. And then him and his brother, they flew up there to look at it.
I bought it out from under you.
Yeah, and which is fine. I told him well, I'd buy the tires and wheels.
There you go.
So, because it changed something. They've changed some things from the way it was when I had it and everything, but it was pretty cool to see it.